Are you looking to use your smartphone to record videos? Well, today I interview phone expert and smartphone reviewer Travis MCP. Between his many uploads on YouTube covering smartphone features and my vlogging experiences using my phone, we'll talk about what phones and accessories are a must-buy for anyone wanting to use their mobile phones to create content. All that and more coming up on the VI Show right now.
This video is brought to you by vidIQ, the #1 Chrome extension for YouTubers looking for on-point data analysis, research resources, and enhanced video creator tools. Start getting more views in less time today by signing up for free at vidiq.com/influence. That's vidiq.com/influence.
What's up, influencers? Welcome to the VI Show. My name is Dji Travis, and this is Video Influencers. We're helping build your influence, income, and impact with online videos. Sean and I started this channel to help you crush it on YouTube, and we're the co-authors of YouTube Secrets. So if you're getting started on your YouTube journey, make sure you pick this up, or even if you already are, definitely a good read and also available on Audible. But today we're talking mobile phones. You know, everybody's got one, and our guest is obviously an expert. You saw his channel. So we're going to be talking about what phones to buy, what's the affordable options, what are the accessories, and then we're going to answer as many of your questions when it comes to creating professional video with a mobile phone, which is so crazy because, you know, years ago it took so much money to do that. And even now, like, I've got a camera that's a few $1,000s, and I know that other people are always looking for reviews on what is the best camera. But honestly, if you've got a smartphone, you can get started. So without further ado, Travis, welcome to the VI Show. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me back on. I had such a great time last time, got a lot of feedback after the show, so I'm super happy to be back.
Yeah, I'm sure. And like, you know, I didn't actually realize how much of an expert you were with smartphones. I thought that you covered all kinds of tech, not realizing that's really the majority of what you cover on your channel. So if you guys want to see his channel, just click the links down below. We'll have everything down there. And we're going to be talking about all these products and also have links to those so that you guys can go buy those if you guys want. But my first question for you is, where are we at in the smartphone world in terms of recording videos? And do you feel like we still have like a few years left for when it gets like really reliable or really good? Or do you finally think like it's here, it's time, and there's no need for a regular camera?
I think we've actually kind of been there for a little while now. Believe it or not, Mr. Beast even has said that for the first almost, I think, 100,000 subscribers, he used his smartphone.
Oh, wow.
So that really says a lot. I mean, that was years ago. That was, I think he said it was an iPhone 6 or something like that. So the video quality is definitely important on YouTube, but, you know, audio is kind of more important, which we'll talk about later. We've been at a quality that's good enough for a while now. You have to remember about 60-ish% of views on YouTube are people watching it on their phone. So there's only a certain amount of quality you have to hit anyway.
True.
And I think we hit that a long time ago. And now for people that watch it on their TV, the phones that are out right now, the capabilities they have, it's amazing what you can do. You can absolutely have a video that you shot on your phone look amazing on something like a 65-inch television.
For sure. And I personally just discovered 4K setting on my phone. I didn't even know it could do that. And so just because I want to give the best quality to my wife for my vlogs. And if you guys aren't familiar, my wife and I, we've been vlogging for almost 10 years now. And we've used the G7X. I've used some Sony cameras. But sometimes when I leave the house, especially when I'm going out with the kids, I just want to use my phone. And so I personally have an iPhone 11. I guess that's my first question for you, Travis. What is your go-to phone when it comes to recording videos? And then we'll get into some of your best recommendations that are on the market.
So I want to just start off by saying that right now, pretty much any smartphone you buy is going to have really good quality. However, for me, I've gone from the Samsung line of phones to now iPhones for my video production. And there's a couple reasons for this, but I will just say, just to put it very simple, the quality is just really, really good. And every year, Apple kind of raises the bar on the video quality of their phones. The ones that just came out now, the iPhone 12 series is excellent. I have the 11 Pro right now, 11 Pro Max right now. And even before that, even all the way back to like the iPhone 7 and stuff, you get some really good quality video. And it's just stable. It looks beautiful. And you can literally put it in your your videos, and most people won't know the difference at all. So I really enjoy using the iPhone series of phones right now, my 11 Pro Max, and I will be going to the 12 Pro Max here shortly.
Sweet. And there's actually a good question. And I know we're going to be talking about, the best phone, the most affordable phone, but I didn't even think about this. Ness asks, what's the best for newbies who are just starting off on their journey and don't have experience filming videos? And it's actually a great question. And I don't want to put you on the spot because I know that you're a tech guy. You've been recording content for a long time. Obviously, you've got a channel, so you know how to, produce video and edit and then upload it. But do you have any ideas on what's the best user interface? What's the most simple? Or do you feel like they're all pretty straightforward for somebody that's just beginning? And I'm thinking about somebody maybe that never had a smartphone, right? Like I watched David Letterman the other day and he had this old iPhone. It was packaged in duct tape or something. It's just he didn't understand the whole concept of what a smartphone should be. So for somebody from that generation, or is that totally new to this, do you have any favorites that you can think of that are just really simple?
Yeah, I think it's important to get something that's going to work for you, not just from the filming side of things, but not everyone has a really powerful PC, so you want to have an option to edit on the phone as well.
Yeah.
And both Android and iOS iPhones can do this. However, for me, the easiest thing has been on iPhones, because not only do you get iMovie for free, which is great.
Nice.
There's access to some really great high-level video editing software on iPhones that you can then what's called airdrop from your iPhone to an iPad, a bigger screen, which is a little bit easier to edit with. And it's just what I actually do, as I literally use my iPad to edit my videos. So from an ease of use standpoint, I like that. Having said that, there are lots of editing pieces of software like Adobe Rush and such in the Android side of things that will also allow you to edit directly on your phone. So I would say, listen, to make it the simplest, learn how to shoot on your phone. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube, and learn how to edit on your phone. I would like to keep people away from trying to figure out the whole editing process on a PC right off the bat, because it might be more overwhelming than it needs to be. Just chop, 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 and then put it out and then move forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the iMovie on iPhone is pretty ridiculous. It's free. That's nice, right? But two, you may never need to actually get a laptop or a PC, or in this case, a Mac, which is just adding to the expense. Roberto Blake just recently, I think he either put out a video or he was talking about it. I'm on a message feed with him and a whole bunch of people. And he mentioned that, he's starting to experiment with literally recording all on his phone. So that is the other thing I want to mention about phones and why you don't need a regular camera. The power in terms of the computer that's inside of it. Just realize when you're using your phone, this is a supercomputer. This is like a laptop. This is basically like an iPad, just in a phone form. And it's actually way more powerful than any camera you could buy. Now, the one thing it does lack is a lens, or the ability to get better audio. Don't get me wrong, there's some microphone options we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But the fact that it has a screen too that's so big, those are the kind of things that are killing cameras, actually have been killing cameras. So with that being said, though, let's talk about the camera killers. What is the best phone for recording videos right now? I know you mentioned iPhone, but what would be the exact one that if somebody just wanted to go all in and they're like, you know what, I want the best quality that's almost like a DSLR or the closest, what would that be?
Currently, it's the new iPhone 12 series of phones, mainly because they've taken a couple of steps forward on video, including adding HDR to video content, including Dolby Vision. Now, you may have heard that word before and maybe are not quite sure what it is, but what I will tell you, it is a amazing color addition to your video that just makes things look realistic. Now, you may not be able to see them on your television because your television has to support it, and even your screen does, but I'm telling you right now, it is a format that will move forward. So if you want something that you can buy today and then really be covered for a while, right now, as of the recording of this, it's the iPhone 12 series of phones, 100% hands down.
For sure. I mean, it's pretty crazy what is going on there. In fact, the iPhone 12 Pro has something unique to it that makes it work with a certain accessory that we're going to talk about later. But I guess that would be my next question is, you know, I have the iPhone 11, which I do believe is perfect. And I wouldn't say this is the affordable version, but I do think that if you can't afford the iPhone 12 or the 12 Pro or 12 Pro Max, you can easily buy the 11 right now, and it's perfectly fine. In fact, right now is a great time to get that one because they've discounted it. It's normal. Apple always does that. With that being said, what are your thoughts about the 11, right, and not going to the 12? And then do you have affordable options outside of Apple, maybe in the Samsung world, that are great for people? Because don't get me wrong, like I love iPhones, but they're expensive, and some people can't afford $700, $800, $1,000, $1,200 for these, you know, supercomputers.
100%. Yeah. So Apple's done a great thing, and they have a bunch of different phones, anywhere from $400 up to $1,000. And pretty much any of those phones that are current today would do well. On the Android side of things, there's actually a couple of phones that have come out recently that I'm super excited about. Samsung has a new phone called the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE Fan Edition, which is fantastic. I believe it's around $600 or $700, but I do know that when they go on sale, a lot of times they knock off $100, and if your carrier carries it, you can get it for even less. There is also the Pixel, the Google Pixel 4a that just came out not long ago. That's about $350, I believe. The image quality on it is excellent. The video quality is really good and very affordable. And another thing is it's by Google, so you know you're going to get lots of great options. And one thing that that we've been talking about here is not only is the camera quality good, it can do things that a DSLR can't do. You can literally live stream from your phone anywhere as long as you have a connection, which you would not be able to do from your camera alone. So there are lots of cool things you can do with a smartphone over top of a DSLR or a mirrorless camera.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that about the live streaming, because normally if you're going to be live streaming with a DSLR or any kind of camera, I know like some consumer level cameras are capable of going live. You have to buy a what is that called? The thing that converts your DSLR to something USB. It's like a capture card, right? And you have to have the computer and you have to have fast internet, not realizing that your phone literally has all that going on. And so it's seamless. A lot of these platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you can go live right from the actual platform itself. I think Twitter, you have to go to Periscope, I believe. But that is a great point. But yeah, the Pixel, I think that one thing that Pixel has done is they set themselves apart as something that is more affordable, but they don't lack on the camera. Would that be true? Because I personally don't have a Pixel. I've like played with one, but I've seen other creators share their videos and their pictures, and it's amazing what you can get out of those phones.
Yeah, case in point, if you look at some of the reviews of the iPhone 12 and such, you'll see when they do a camera review, they always compare it next to a Pixel, because the Pixel line of phones have always been known as having incredible image quality, especially for stills. But even for video, it's pretty solid as well. So yeah, 100%. It's always been kind of the flagship bearer of Android of what really good image quality can be. And this year, they've really concentrated on less expensive phones. That 4A is really a beast at the price that it's at. So yeah, and again, Black Friday's right around the corner. Cyber Monday's right around the corner. I think you're gonna be able to get some incredible deals on these.
Yeah, so you guys hold up. We obviously have all the links down below in the description, but you can find it anywhere, Google, Amazon. I don't know, like they probably do sell the Pixels on Amazon too.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I guess with that being said, my one big question is, when do you upgrade? Now, I literally just had somebody talk to me who was asking because they knew I was doing this show, and they have the iPhone 11. I have the iPhone 11 Pro, and they're like, should I upgrade to iPhone 12? Right? Like, is this time to do it? Like, some people probably go crazy. Like, do I upgrade every single year? What's your philosophy on upgrading? Like, when do you know when the threshold has kind of been crossed, when the technology you're using is lacking to what is on that newer release?
I actually had to do a video about this because I posted it in my community tab, kind of asking how long do people wait before they upgrade, and I was kind of surprised by it. So I did a whole video about this, and the end of the line is this: most people will upgrade their phones when it's either broken or really slow.
Yeah, for sure.
Generally speaking, when it happens. And even then, you'll see people with cracked screens that still won't upgrade their phone or fix it or whatever. There's a couple things. Number one, budget. I mean, can you afford it? I mean, right now we're in the middle of some craziness, and if it's not something that if it's between that and a warm cup of coffee, I think you take the coffee. But if you have the budget, right now is an interesting time because 5G is now kind of a thing.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
I do want to warn people that while 5G is available, it is not as game changing as it may sound. So don't upgrade just for that. But if you have a phone that's a couple of years old, let's say 3 or 4 years old, this is a good opportunity to upgrade. If you're on the Android side of things, you pretty much want to, because most phones over 3 to 4 years old are not getting security updates anymore. And that's really important, because those things where people hack your phone and stuff, there are updates that Google pushes out, but most manufacturers will stop supporting their phones after about 3 to 4 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if your Android phone is that old, I would highly recommend upgrading. If you have an iOS phone and an iPhone right now, Apple is supporting all the way back to the 6S, the iPhone 6S. But anything I would say below the 7 would be a ripe time for you to upgrade. There's some good deals right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing too. If you're upgrading from a 6 or a 7, you could probably get like the 10 or get some refurbished or used phones and get great prices. It's totally worth it. With that being said, I love how you're talking about more practical things. Your budget, right? How old your phone is it broken? But let's talk about actual functions and features. So I want to talk about one feature that I think is really important when it comes to buying a phone for recording videos. And so neutrally, I don't know if you can pull it up, but I have a video of me recording while riding on the bike with my iPhone 11. So let's go ahead and make that full size neutrally. We can still be in picture. And so let's go ahead and play this. And this is me riding my bike, okay, with my daughter while she's riding the bike, and see the stability on this. Go ahead and make it full screen neutrally. There you go. And so it's so crazy how smooth this is. I don't have a gimbal going on. I'm probably riding bike, so it's pretty smooth ride, but it looks like what a Dji Osmo would be doing, or some kind of professional gimbal. So that is my first point I want to make when it comes to features that you want to look for. And so you can stop that. Is you want stabilization. So I don't know exactly what you look for, Travis, when you're looking at phone features and the specs, but would that be correct? And is that what it's called?
Yeah. So image stabilization is something that has come along in the last 3 to 4 years and has gotten incredible in the last 2 years.
Totally.
If I was a gimbal manufacturer, I'd be a little bit concerned, because no need for them anymore.
Yeah.
I would say over the last 2 years, it's gotten really good on the higher end Samsung and Apple phones. There are a couple of other manufacturers that have done a pretty good job. Huawei overseas, Xiaomi has some good products as well. But by and large, if you're going to be budget minded, you're probably not going to get great image stabilization, which is fine if you're going to be on a tripod, if you're just doing standing, head. But if you're doing vlogging, stuff like that, you're definitely going to want to save up some money and get something that's kind of newer in the last 2 years from either Samsung or Apple, because their video stabilization is almost second to none.
Totally. That's a good point as well about the tripod. You don't need the stabilization if you have a tripod or if you have a gimbal. And we're going to be talking about some of our favorite accessories a little bit later. But if you guys are getting value out of this, hit that like button, leave a comment below. We want to know what phone you use to create content. What's your go-to? How long have you been making it? And are you looking to upgrade? What phone are you curious about? My next question actually has to do with my last point. Are there any other features that you'd want to look for in a camera, whether it's going to be affordable or something a little pricey, to really set apart different smartphones when it comes to recording video?
Yeah. One thing you'll notice is some of the newer phones have multiple lenses on the back, sometimes 2 or 3. And not everyone understands why they're there. So let me just real quick tell you, there are different types of lenses. One that's a telephoto, which means it's kind of a further away. You have your normal, your main, and then of course your wide angle, which is nice for when you're close up. And for vlogging, it's perfect because a lot of times you're holding your phone at arm's length and you need to be able to see a lot of things. So that's the wide angle lens. So you want to look for something with a wide angle lens, especially if you're vlogging, at least 2 lenses at this point, because that's kind of what the norm is if you're into that sort of thing. Now, if you're just doing, again, standing head, talking directly like I'm doing right now, talking head, most any phone with any kind of single lens will be fine. But if you ever think that you're going to change either your content or where you shoot from, you need to have at least that wide angle lens to help you out.
Yeah, totally. I have the iPhone 11 here, and in fact, I don't know if you can actually see it here. It's kind of far away, but anybody that's seen an iPhone ad, which is basically everybody in the world knows, and there's these three. So personally, I actually do use all these lenses, and what I can say for the iPhone, I feel like this is going to be like iPhone commercial, Travis. I go super wide sometimes when I'm doing time lapses. I don't want to capture the whole scene, and I definitely zoom in when I want to like see something from far away. But all three lenses are totally utilized, so I think it's totally right. But neutrally, one thing I want to do is send me a link, a Zoom link. I don't know if you can add me as a call. I wanted to actually get on here and show people how I use my phone to vlog. And if I was like a guest on the Zoom call, that'd be actually pretty cool. So see if you can set that up. But Travis, I guess let's move on to accessories. One of the things is these smartphones by themselves, in fact, a lot of times when I'm vlogging, I don't use a gimbal or any kind of stabilization tool. I don't use microphones or any kind of lighting because I'm very casual about it. I'm daily vlogging with my family. It's more fun. But accessories, what I love about accessories is I actually just told somebody, rather than upgrading your phone, if it's good enough, it's got stabilization, or say it doesn't, but it's got some great lenses, not too old, it's not broken, pay for the accessories. Let's get into those, and what would be like the first one or two things you would suggest to people to consider when buying things that help you record better videos?
There's two things, something for lighting and something for audio. We always need better audio, and we always need better lighting. These cameras have smaller sensors which need a good amount of light. If you shoot outside, you can ignore this part. But my guess is most of you are shooting inside, so you're going to want some type of lighting kit. And I'll tell you right now, there's a couple of kits on Amazon that are really inexpensive. I actually bought a kit when I started like over 3 years ago, and I still use some of the lights from it. And it was $50 for like 3 lights. And I still use it. So I think it really says a lot that you can buy something now for not too expensive and still get something out of it. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and is that the link that you sent? That
Yes.
Yeah. So hey, pull that up neutrally. Let's look at that first lighting kit on Amazon and see what he's talking about. So, we are talking about vlogging, right? Carrying it, stabilization. But if you've got a tripod, that most phones will be perfectly fine. But what you're going to want to do to make up for the small lens, because when you have a nicer camera, bigger lens, is the lighting. Like lighting is everything. Think about it. A DSLR, lens is this big, but a lens for your camera is super tiny. So this is the lighting kit. Can you tell us a little bit about this lighting kit and why you like it?
Yeah, and I still use one of these lights. I have another kind of more professional light as well, but I still use one of these lights and a couple of the other ones for other stuff in my house. I bought this when I very first started. It's so super simple. You can get the Cfl Lights really inexpensively. It's got 3 tripods. You basically get your key light, your fill. Like it's so easy. It's the 2 umbrellas, the light. You plug it in, and instantly your video quality is better. Again, you don't have to spend $100 or $200 to get good lighting. And to be honest, this isn't even the least expensive option. It's just a really solid option that I personally have used, and I really dig it a lot. It's served me well over the years.
Yeah, and did I see that it's $53?
Yeah, it's amazing what you can get, right?
Yeah, it is. That's pretty crazy, especially that you can get the tripods and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, one tip I have for people that maybe can't even afford the accessory of new lighting kits or any light is more light. So try to be next to a window, be outside recording. The sun is like the best light. And 2, if you are recording at night, just get a whole bunch of lamps. This is exactly what I did. I would get all the lamps in that room or around my house. Just make sure the bulb temperature is the same, because you don't want a super white light and a super orange light. That's like the most basic way I would put it, but it's Kelvin ratings. Look for the Kelvin ratings. You want 5,500 all around or 3,500 all around. Anything else you want to add to it, or like maybe correct when it comes to the lighting? And here's a lighting thing that we're talking about. Typically, you don't see the 10,000 or 1,000, but it's the like 5,000 to about 4,000. And and the problem is, if you have two different colors, your skin is gonna look kind of green or off. So that's what I'd say. But anything you would want to add to that, Travis?
Yeah, I mean, if worst case scenario, if you can get next to a window, that will usually help you out on a decently sunny day for sure. Like, it's the freest light you can get, or if you can be outside for any reason, that usually works really well. But no, these are great options. Again, this is a beginner option. Later on, you might get something there where you want to, like, I have a Godox as well, which is great for like adjusting things. But I think to start off with, you want to make sure you have good lighting and good audio, and these are really kind of, I think, reasonably priced things that you can use to actually level up a little bit, even just from the beginning. It's just enough. People can tell.
For sure. And so the other thing you mentioned a little bit earlier was audio. So the thing about this at Lax as well is the microphone is pretty small. And if you've ever seen a DSLR or somebody with a full setup, they've got like a shotgun mic or something a little bit more beefy. But don't worry, there are special microphones for this. What would be the microphone you suggest? And Nucci, go ahead and pull that one up.
So there's a couple of different ones. There's less expensive options than this, but I was at CES and I saw this in person. I saw the manufacturer of this and I was blown away by this. Now, you can get lav mics for about $20 that'll go from like Lightning or USB-C to your shirt, which is fine. But what I like about this is that it's wireless and it's Bluetooth to your phone. And you literally can have your phone 10 feet away from you while you're recording something and have this clipped onto your shirt and have perfect audio. It is a little bit more expensive, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have poor audio, people will not watch your videos. So if you're going to spend your money anywhere, this is where you spend your money. And like I said, I saw this in person. I was blown away by it. And I'm like, for mobile creators, it's an amazing pice of hardware.
That's quite the pressure. You said if they don't have good audio, they wouldn't watch their video. So, hey, you got to get this microphone, right? I don't know if we can pull it up, but dvestore.com is where we go to get all of our audio. They've got all kinds of options. And they do also have lapel mics that are wired. Like, say you really can only get something that's affordable. There's a lot of good affordable options, which is a wired version. And it's just a lapel mic that goes on here. Those are totally fine as well. If you can't afford it, right? Some of the things that I would suggest is be super close to your phone. Secondly, record in areas where there's not a lot of sound, because that's one of the things that's going to really screw you up, is literally having to like, here's one. This is kind of expensive, but again, a lapel mic is great because, like what you were showing, you can clip it onto your shirt. But make sure you're recording in a place that is quiet and that there's not a lot of echo. Any other things when it comes to audio that you would suggest, or affordable options for people wanting to level up? Because we want them to watch. We want people to watch their videos, and they need good audio.
Right. I mean, there are the $20 options out there on Amazon and everywhere else that are just lapel mics, and those are absolutely fine. I've been using that for a very long time on my own channel. So there's literally nothing wrong with that. I do want to show you some kind of cooler stuff that you can grow into. I also feel like, if you really believe in yourself and in doing this channel, that you should try to invest heavily up front so you don't have to do it 2 or 3 times. Because here's the example. You buy a $20 mic, it breaks in 6 months. You buy another $20 mic, it breaks in 6 months after that. And then a year later, you're like, I need to upgrade. Let me get this $100 mic. Well, you would have spent only $60 more had you not bought the two $20 mics before. So I always think, if you're really kind of into this and believing in it, go a little bit step further. But yeah, you also can record directly to your computer depending on what type of content you're doing. If you're a gamer or something like that, obviously you can get a $30 USB mic and record right into your computer and then sync it later. That's a little bit more advanced, but it is an option, and the audio tends to sound really, really good. So It just depends on your type of content. Definitely be close to the camera if you can, but if you can't, like let's say you're doing a farming channel and you need to be far away because you're going to show the pigs or whatever, then something like that would be great. Something like the Bluetooth USB like I was showing before was good.
Yeah, you know, a super affordable option is get your old phone and use that as a microphone. Like say you had to stand way far away, and this is going to take a little bit more of post-production work. But what I'm saying is you say like your camera or your phone is on a tripod far away from you, but you still want to record good audio, but you don't have the ability to get a microphone. Take your old phone. By the way, you probably should sell your old phone and get a microphone, right? But say you have one or anything that can record and record off of that microphone. And the reason we're recommending this, and Travis mentioned it, is because if that microphone across the room is going to try to capture your voice, it might be able to, but it's going to sound so bad. They're going to have to crank the volume all the way up, and it's just not going to work. And, you know, if the video is fascinating and maybe it's like it's cool editing, maybe people will watch it. The problem is if people can't hear your voice, they won't connect with what you're saying. They're not going to get the context of the conversation or whatever it is that you're trying to deliver in terms of value. So it's a great point. Let's move to the other accessories. Now I'm going to start with my absolute favorite accessory. In fact, I was using this accessory in that video I showed a little bit earlier, and it's the Mi Photo tripod. Neutrally, I don't know if you can get that up on here. This Mi Photo tripod is the best thing. In fact, it's the one thing I've recommended to Sean. And what I love about it is it was invented probably like 7-8 years ago, and I use it all the time. And I don't know if you can get it up there. I don't know. There you go. The Mi Photo little tripod. What's great about it is it's small. You can obviously attach your phone, but you can also get your phone to be on a tripod. See, it's attached to a normal tripod head, so you can get a little bit more height. You can put it to like Pat Flynn's tripod there. It's just so user friendly, and I use it all the time just to like watch videos. I put it on the table. You can kind of see here that I have it on the table because it's got this little flat edge. But I like to record my videos with the camera that's facing out, not the selfie camera. And I use this also to record. In fact, neutrally, I don't know if we can do it now, show people exactly what I'm talking about. You know, stabilization I think is really important, but if you don't have the stabilization, oh yeah, I'm using a selfie cam. Let me switch that out. How do I do that? Here we go. Boom. So as you can see, I'm using this. This is exactly how I vlog now. I rarely use a regular camera. I'm talking to my phone right here, and it's fairly stable because of this Mi Photo little tripod accessory. A little pricey, but I've had it forever. It's never broke on me. I would highly recommend it. If there is one accessory I'd say like buy today if you have a phone, it would be this. And it fits on any phone, right? It's a universal head. I don't know. It sounded like, Travis, you've never heard about this, but do you have any other accessories you would recommend?
Listen, that is killer. Because the funny thing is, a lot of times you buy different things to try to solve one problem, and that looks like it solves most at the same time. Now you could do the one thing that I think a friend of ours created a couple years ago. The switch pod's kind of cool. You would need a mobile kind of adapter for it, but that thing is really a one-stop shop device for sure. Yeah,
and it'll fit in your pocket. You know, if you take this off, what I do is I usually have a bag around, so it's not really a big problem. But it's so small that, and what I like about it is you can turn it. So like if you want to have it up and down or vertical, you can do that. I like it because it kind of folds up a little nicely. So I could put it into my pocket and it's easy to carry, or it's easy to put into any pocket of any bag that I have. So highly recommend it. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But anything you would use in terms of other type of accessories outside of the lighting and the audio portion?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you do want some type of stand of some sort, especially if you're going to shoot things outside of the home, if you're vlogging or something that'll kick it up. Little tripods are pretty easy to come by. I used to use a gimbal. Like I said, we've shown the footage earlier where I don't even think you necessarily need a gimbal anymore, except in the occasion where you want to do something like some really cool time lapse, hyper focus thing where it moves at the same time. Like those are the things that Gimbals can do now that you can't really do without having that. So a gimbal is still nice, even if not just for stabilization, for some really cool kind of special effects or time lapse things, if you're into that sort of thing. So almost any gimbal will do that nowadays, anywhere from like the $30 ones you see on Amazon all the way up from there.
Yeah, and I'd say the one that Neutrally has up right now, I believe this is the DJI Osmo, no, it's not. It's like this is just a regular DJI. Find the DJI Osmo 4 Neutrally, because that's the newest one that has come out, and this is the one. It's the white one. And notice something unique about this picture. There's no clamps on it. I don't know if you have pictures or can go to the manufacturer's website Neutrally, but there's a magnet now for the Osmo 4, specifically for the iPhone 12 Pro, because it's magnetized on the back, maybe for the battery. I don't know how it charges. Yeah, I can't speak to it because I don't have either one of those, but my friend David Foster, who is a pro when it comes to mobile content creation, he swears, he's like, this is going to be a game changer. And I agree. See, the thing about that is it's pricey, but it's high quality. I definitely think if you're really serious about video production, it's totally worth it. But the fact that it can just magnetize to the back of the phone, and I have heard from people that it's quality. I don't know if you can move it over neutrally right now. It's not centered, the video. But yeah, this is the DJI Osmo 4. I don't know why it's spelled like that, but that is definitely a game changer if you want to step it up and have something with a little more capability. So any thoughts there? Because the magnet thing, I've never actually seen that on any gimbal or phone holder.
So Apple recently integrated what's called MagSafe on the back of their iPhone 12 series of phones, and it's a kind of a cool little thing that's a magnetic portion of the phone where chargers and stuff can stick, and little wallets and stuff. And the one thing that I said in my videos about this is that I was really interested to see what third-party manufacturers would do with this. I was not aware of this. I am blown away by that. What it is the magnet on the back of the phone is so strong, you could literally put your phone on the side of your refrigerator and it's not going to slide down. Like, it's that powerful, super powerful. So to be able to do a gimbal, that's really brilliant use of the MagSafe feature. I'm actually really excited about that. And the other thing is, if you've ever used a gimbal, that is literally the biggest pain in the butt, is to try to get it set up. And I hate that part of the gimbal setup process. To just be able to slap it on there, my mind is blown. I love it.
Oh, for sure. I'm curious. I just mentioned, like, I have my little accessory. By the way, it's called the Mi Photo Sidekick that I love, and I don't think I'll ever stop using. But the fact that you can just clamp it on. See, one of the suggestions I have, and I can say this from vlogging every single day almost for 10 years, you don't want it to be complex trying to create content, especially if you're going to do something more vloggy or casual. You just want to be able to do it. And so that's why you don't absolutely even need any of those accessories. If you can just pop your phone out, and what I love about the iPhone, it's easy to get to your camera even from any like home screen or locked screen, and just start recording. That is what's important. That's why the stabilization happening in the phone itself is really important. You don't want to have to worry about, and that's why I've seen some people do this where they've got the Rode mic attached. They've got maybe a light. They've got this cool gimbal set up, and maybe even some kind of other accessories. If it takes you too long to create content in terms of vlogging, I think that takes away from the creation process, because you want to just be able to whip out your phone, right? Now, if you're at home, you've got a tripod, you're going to leave it up there, and you've got a different type of setup or format where you just leave it, and that's great too. You just want a clamp that's easy to put it up there. Any thoughts on that point in terms of, not complicating the whole process?
100%. The more complicated something is, the less likely most humans are to do it. It's just human nature. If you can have a section even of your home that is always set up to shoot videos, you'll find that you will likely shoot videos more often. I know for myself, where I typically have to tear down afterwards because I shoot in my living room, that can be an obstacle. It seems like such a small thing, but I'll tell you, when you're feeling lazy, it is, every little thing is a reason not to shoot a video, I'll tell you. So having either a little room in your house or having everything set up, a bag ready to go, so as soon as you pull it out, everything's ready to go. Anything that can make the process simpler and quicker is always going to be better. I typically have some stuff in my car at all times, so if I'm just happen to be out and about and I see something interesting, I can quickly, pull out something and shoot something. And anything that can help you get up and going faster is definitely what you want to invest in.
Sweet. Yeah, I completely agree. And so we just want to give some shout outs to people on here. First off, to our VI members of the VI club. We've got Michael Groff. That's right. Journey to Wellness, Rasmin's Message from Spirit, the Swedish car guy. If you're part of the VI club, you do get exclusive access to all the replays of the Q&A, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a Q&A/channel audit a little bit later. So make sure you hit that join button if you want to be on that. If you want to watch, you just stay on. When we go live, we make that available to everybody. The replays are just for the members. Let's see if we've got some questions just around phones, but anything else you want to add or finish with? Because I know you review a lot of phones. There's a lot of options. Some people are kind of married to Samsung or now Google or obviously iPhones. What would be kind of your last thoughts when recording video, especially when you want to up it to like that professional grade quality?
Yeah, I just want to encourage people that, listen, having a phone is more than enough, more now than ever. We've been saying it for years. But now with the technology of these phones, you're literally at a level that you've never been able to be at before. There are now commercials and even movies that have been shot on smartphones at this point. Some people might not realize that there have been actual movies shot on smartphones. Yeah. There is literally no reason, if you are someone who wants to be a content creator, to not start now. If you have a smartphone, even if it's several years old, it doesn't matter. Get going. You can always iterate later. You can always add stuff later. And I don't want people to be intimidated by the pricing of anything. If it's like $100 and you're like, I just don't have $100, that's okay. Work hard, save up a little bit here and there, continue to make the content, and you will absolutely be able to get to that next level. Trust me, I had to do it. I spent the first couple of weekends as a tech YouTuber going to Dollar Tree stores and stuff like that, looking for things to review. I did it. I literally went around to Big Lots and Dollar Tree trying to find any little cheap thing I could to review on my channel. And listen, here I am. I'm on Video Influencers. I mean, I made it. Everybody.
That's awesome. I love the hustle. I love that story. I do have a question for you. Do you have like just a ton of phones at your house laying around, or do you like kind of get rid of them and kind of cycle them through?
Yeah. So I do have. Well, thankfully, not as many now. When I've had, unfortunately, friends over, which is not very often. They know that I'm basically like a Christmas store. So they just take stuff. I had someone come over the other day and I'm like, yeah, I don't need this. Please take them away. I'm constantly trying to get rid of stuff, but shipping stuff is kind of expensive. I do, send stuff to subscribers and stuff periodically, but even mailing stuff is really expensive. So yeah, I have stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know if you know Andrew Edwards. He's also another person that dives into tech. He says that it's a problem, like it's a challenge. He gets a lot of stuff sent to him, and I'm not a tech YouTuber. I definitely get stuff sent, so I always like to ask people that, especially with phones, you only need one phone, right? Like cameras, like you can have like a couple different cameras for different functions, but when it comes to your phone, Woody Collins mentioned they use a Note 20 Ultra 5G is used for editing, shooting, everything. On Zoom, it can display a virtual background, but my laptop is not powerful enough. I know what you're talking about. I've had some laptops that have that issue as well. It brings up one more point I just want to mention about, like, you can even use it as a webcam now. I've seen some videos come out. Have you used it for that, and would you recommend it?
I don't now, but it depends on like what your main computer is. So back when COVID first started, it was hard to get a webcam, period. End of story.
Yes.
Like they were sold out everywhere. There is a company called Wisecam that does little security cameras, so $20 security cameras. And they actually came out with a firmware to change them over to webcams. I thought that was great. So that cool. Was a cool thing. But yeah, I know that's kind of a newer thing. Some software out there to allow you to use your phone as a webcam. If you do that, that's great, but make sure you turn on like do not disturb mode, because if you start getting calls and stuff in the middle of your live stream, that'd be pretty terrible.
For sure. And we'll end it there because that was the last tip I had, which is make sure you turn off the cell phone signal. Make sure you put do not disturb. You know, Sean and I, when we're going live from our phone to create videos, which we've done many times, that's like a 10-minute process, because there's nothing worse than being live and somebody's calling you, right? And it's not as simple as just saying go away, because I think that the phone just stops broadcasting for a hot second, or it's like it'll skip. YouTube's kind of cool, like it'll like glue the two together, but then you have this awkward little glitch. So that would be my last point. Definitely check out Travis's channel down below at the links, and you can see all of his content if you're curious about what smartphone is right for you. He does reviews on just about every single phone that's coming out, especially ones that would be good enough for professional video. We're going to do something different today. We're going to be doing a channel audit on a completely different feed. So we're going to go ahead and end this one, and we'll start back up in about, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're looking to get your channel audited, today's a special day because Travis does work with the vidIQ team. He's a professional. I'm going to do my best to give you my opinions, so stay tuned for that. If you guys want to check out all of our videos for mobile phone content creation, click or tap the screen right here. If you just want to see all of our interviews here for the VI show, click or tap the screen right here. As always, we're helping build your influence, income, impact with online videos. Talk to you later.